Thank you for watching The Forum. I'm your host, Ashley Tate, here with my co-host, Christy Largent. And today we are talking about STEM programs here in the North State. And so we are here with Sourcetainable. And I hope I said that correct.
Yeah, it's close.
It's Sourcetainable without an S in the middle. And we're here with Steve Totman and Scott Lunsford, and they are the co-founders of this program. So tell us a little bit about what Sourcetainable even is.
Well, Sourcetainable started out as a dream that kind of starting to become a real reality for us. We figured out that life is about practical applications. So we started looking at problems in the world, especially in the third world, initially in the third world, and about what we could do with first world technologies to, create applications that benefited people around the world. Now we've come to the conclusion that a lot of these things we're dealing with can actually be used in first world applications as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what would an example of your third world application? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like wave energy is one example. We have a project called the Oasis that takes condensate water and turns it into ice from sun power, and then affordable housing like precast housing.
Precast housing.
Okay, so go back. What is wave energy?
Yeah, all about wave energy.
Okay, you guys, we need to prepare you that, I hate to tell you, Ashley and I are not science-minded.
Yeah, no.
Either are we.
Today well, then learn from our show.
Wave energy, I think.
What is wave energy? And then we want to come back to the precast housing. That sounds fascinating. Yeah. Go ahead. Wave energy, whoever.
Well, he started it.
Yeah,
I have no idea what these things are.
Okay, Scott,
Well, wave energy is pretty basic. We're taking the power, the momentum of the wave, and
from the water.
From the water.
Okay.
Ocean waves.
Okay, ocean waves. All right.
And basically, think of it like a hydraulic motor. You could use electricity. You could power
pumps.
Anything.
Anything.
Now they're using desalinization with wave energy, right?
Well, we could do that with this because basically we've created an engine that runs off of waves.
So you can do things like in Africa or any cities where
Fort Bragg.
Why not?
Yeah, no.
Why not? And what has prohibited that from kind of taking hold already?
Well, the California Coastal Commission, for one. I don't want to get into that. No, basically, what we do, as opposed to what other wave energy companies or programs do, is they're out in the deep water and they're using the up and down motion of the waves. Where we have created a device that works in the surf zone, which is closer to the shore.
So we're taking advantage of the horizontal.
Yes, that's what I was originally thinking too.
Right, exactly. So, but what we can also do with these, since the device is called the Jetty Joule, is we can create shore erosion control by putting these along shore. And as we now know the oceans are rising, this could become, quite a significant issue in the future.
So who is we when you talk about we've created this?
Well, Sourcetainable.
And who are you made up of? Is it an actual company?
Well, it's a good question. It's a 21st century digital company. We don't have a central facility. We have what we figured out was that because of our experiences in life and the connections we've made, we had a vast resource of people that we could network with to create these things. So we have engineers, we have scientists, we have architects, we have fabricators that
everyone we work with on a day-to-day basis.
Right, and they all want to give back as well. So we can tap into this network we have to actually create these things. So when we come up with an idea, we will highlight several people that we know and say, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you figure this out for us? And then bring it together to create that specific project. So each project takes a different network of people out of this thing.
And they're all volunteer?
Well, no, I mean, they're all going to get, equity out of the individual device. So we're setting it up as Sourcetainable is, we're getting into business here. But Sourcetainable is like the umbrella company, and then like the Jetty Joule is a company within that, and then the Oasis is another one. So So whoever works on the Jetty Joule will get equity in that. And then
So really quick, are you a nonprofit or are you a for-profit company?
oh, we're a for-profit. But
because you said, okay.
No, but we plan on creating a nonprofit entity out of that. But,
Okay.
but you know, our feeling is that people that start out trying to just be a nonprofit usually end up shooting themselves in the foot.
In the foot. I'm glad you said the
yeah.
foot. Okay.
And what we decided was we'll make a for-profit company, but then try, and from that, if we make a profit, profit for good, but then try and make a nonprofit entity out of that. Now, some of our programs, like when we get to the precast housing, you can see where we're trying to get to with some of this nonprofit issue. You know.
So are you finding problems and trying to fix it with Sourcetainable energy, or are you creating?
We're creating problems.
No. Or are you creating things? Yeah, are you creating
We're like the
things
glass company that goes around and throws rocks in the windows.
You're terrible.
We're creating.
So you're creating things, and then you're seeing the other applications of where it can help.
Correct.
Right, and that's one of the things that we strive for in whatever we come up with. We look for multiple applications, not just one application. But if we can find something, and it's like if it can pass the test of it'll do this, but it'll do this too.
Yeah.
And hey, guess what? It'll do that as well. Then it's like, oh, that's a real go project for us.
That's really interesting.
And then if we can tap into the education system to help us further the ideas,
free minds.
Like what?
Well, like Chico State. We're with the wave energy. They have actually a wave tank at Chico State, and they have the premier concrete school in the country is at Chico State.
Oh, really?
And so since the Jetty Joule is made of concrete and it actually works through waves, we're going to be going with them and making a scale model to test in their wave tank.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So yeah, so that's how we want to like engage with education. Give them equity in the project as well for being able to utilize their.
Now, since you are for-profit, can people? No. I'm saying that because I want to ask: can people hire you for like specific projects?
Absolutely.
Like, do you work with other companies? And
Or
that's
like
how
an NGO could call from Africa and say, we're really working on this and we need your technology. Can you work with us?
No, absolutely. Actually, from our vast well of experience, like Scott here is the largest installer of earth tubes in the country.
What is an earth tube?
Oh God, here we go.
It's basic.
Actually, earth tubes started in Roman times. The Romans actually invented earth tubes way back.
So what is
earth tube? Is simple. Is basically we run about 200 feet of pipe in the ground, and it all slopes to drain, so you don't have any mold growing or anything. And you use the earth to to temper the air.
Basically, heat and cool your house passively, because after you get down below a certain level in the ground, the temperature stays fairly consistent.
Right.
So
we're about 54 degrees, about 6-7 feet down the ground.
So who uses this?
In new home construction, you have to have a certain amount of ventilation
green technology
per square footage of homes.
Yeah.
So instead of right now, the code is you put a fan in, you open the door, you open the window, the reverse pressure pulls in the outside air. So you guys up here gets pretty hot in the summer.
Right.
So you're pulling in 100-degree air, then your air conditioner has to cool that back down to 70 degrees. Well, this is taking that 113-degree air and already bringing that into the house at 63 degrees, 64 degrees.
So you might actually be cold in your house.
Well, no, because it balances out.
I know.
Even in the winter, it actually warms because the earth is so massive that it'll warm it back up again.
So give me the application. You're the largest installer of that. Where are you installing this?
Calusa, we build some pretty large homes, so that's part of the air system in the homes, and that's just one little facet of the home.
Now, granted, when I say he's the largest installer, that means that nobody else in the the world is installing this stuff right now.
It's very popular in Europe. And
I was thinking.
Because I was making it seem like, woo, he's done 12 feet.
Oh my God, we're having a blast with you guys. They are crazy.
Why is being green and sustainable, I mean, this seems like a silly question, but why is that so integral to your mission?
We talk about this all the time. No, we talk about it all the time. Like, hey, why do we kind of push that? I think it's how we were hardwired. You know, I'm very curious by nature. How can we do this? I traveled extensively to Africa and stuff like that when I was younger, and I seen some. You know, you're out in the middle of nowhere, and you know, well-established little towns don't even have ice. Just simple stuff that we take
when
for
you
granted.
think about ice and you think about the quality of life that refrigeration gives to you, because it's like these people are hunting and gathering every day for food because they can't store it. But all of a sudden, if you've got an ice box, just a basic primitive ice box, well, you can store food for a few days. So now all of a sudden you can start to do other things besides looking for food every day.
Learn to read rather than spend all day out hunting for your dinner.
Exactly.
Right. It's integral to that. So when did this get started?
Last year before, it kind of slowly morphed itself. Yeah, no, it's fairly fresh. I mean, it really didn't start snowballing until last summer, and then it's been going pretty good.
So were you guys like tinkering? I mean, it sounds a little bit reminiscent of a startup where you were kind of like tinkering, and then something came together, and now it's becoming something more than you were thinking. And you're
look, if you're going to answer the question, why are we even here? No, that's exactly it. And the deal is basically there's a lot of garage inventors out there, and that's what we started out doing. And you know, we just are starting to take it up to the next level at this point. But we also want to be agile enough to be able to bring in other garage inventors and say,
I love
hey,
that
what are
idea.
you
How do people connect with you if they say, gosh, I'm really good at this and I'd love to be a part of what you guys are doing?
Well, they go to our website and send us $50 each, and well, they can contact us through our website.
What is your website?
It's Sourcetainable.com.
So spell it out because it doesn't have an S.
Wait a minute.
So,
I know, right. It's Sourcetainable.com.
So that's easy. Sourcetainable.
Yeah, no S at the end of source or at the beginning of tain.
You're messing people up.
Yeah, we're going to print it on the bottom of the screen.
It's right
for
here.
You, correctly.
Just right here. Go to this address right here.
Because really, I'm thinking there are a lot of people out there who would like to be involved with what you guys have.
We'd like them to be involved.
And you can really see far-reaching implications.
No, that's exactly it.
For taking this, and I mean, even as far as if more people in America heated or cooled naturally with the earth, their air before it came in the house, think of the less electricity you have to use to run your air conditioner and run your heater.
So we have to put less Jetty Joules in the ocean then.
Exactly. For less.
See, it's all harmonic here.
It's all there. So thank you guys for coming on. This was really interesting.
Wait, we don't get more time?
That's I know. It goes so fast. Thanks for watching. What we're going to do is take a quick break. You know the routine, and we'll come back with the second half of our show in just a minute.
We'll be back.
Hey, and we are back with our second half of the show. And today we're speaking with Chris Dell. He is the director of STEM, North State STEM here with the Shasta County Office of Education. So this is a really interesting show because there's so much to talk about. We'll try to hit all the questions and get through everything. But can you tell us first what North State STEM is?
Absolutely. So North State STEM was started a couple years ago basically by the county offices of education in the greater Northern California. And the whole goal was to really get kids to see STEM, and STEM being science, technology, engineering, and math, not just this idea of these subjects that they learn individually, but that there's some connections, and not only connections with the academics of STEM, but connections to career, connections to what we're going to see really in the future. When we talk about future jobs, there's jobs that our kids will be doing that are not even in existence yet, right? And a lot of it really has to do with STEM type of thinking. When you think of innovation, you think of sustainable, right? Their careers, what they do is all around innovation, engineering, and that's what we want our kids to be able to see that. So.
And why do you think that STEM is so important right now? I mean, why all of a sudden in the last 2 years is STEM so important? What need did you see?
Well, it really does. It does have to do with seeing the connections with the disciplines of science and math, and then really kind of bringing in that idea of engineering and technology, so students see that as something that they can attain. I think of my own experience when I was in school. I loved mathematics.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I loved it. I was a math geek. I did well in math.
We wouldn't have been friends, just so you know.
Sorry. Well, maybe I could have tutored you.
Yeah, that would have worked. That would have worked out. I would need it.
So all I ever saw really though was my math teacher.
Yeah.
I never really got exposed to so many of the other possibilities that mathematics could have put me in.
Yes, yeah.
And so I became a teacher, which I'm glad, right? I actually will not trade it what I have done, but it would have been nice to know all those other things that are out there. So our big goal is to make sure kids have that opportunity to see those things that are available to them that are beyond just
what they see
in the classroom.
So tell us, what are some of the events you have going on?
Sure, excellent. Yeah, so every October, around the end of October, we put on a what we call our Ignite Opportunity STEM Career Day.
Love it.
And we have, we target freshmen, high school freshmen, and every year it continues to grow. At this point, we're looking at about 1,400 high school freshmen that get bussed in from schools from all over the North State, from 9 counties in our North State. They get bussed in.
And where do they get bussed to, and what are you doing?
So we're right now using the Shasta District Fairgrounds. And during the event, it's a few things occur. So they get an opportunity to hear from a keynote speaker, somebody that's in the world of STEM, about what they're doing. And then we have different stations, if you will, different buildings that have different focuses. So 2 of the buildings are full of businesses, full of STEM businesses that are local, to show kids that, hey, there's STEM careers that they can go after that are even in our backyard.
Oh, I
so
love
we
that.
get about 60 plus organizations and businesses that would be focused on STEM to connect with the kids and get them excited about seeing a future job. And then from there, right, once they know, oh, that's something I want to do, then they can back map of what do I need to do to get there, right?
Yes.
Is a 4-year university important for every kid?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes,
I think there's so many other possibilities out there, right? So we have so many
Especially
great
today.
trade schools or specific tech schools that kids can see as something that they can do to get to a place that they want to go to.
Right.
Or it's also and I don't want to say bypassing, because it's not something that I encourage to bypass, but it's also seeing that you can start a business and you can start tinkering away, like we were talking to Sourcetainable. You can start tinkering away now and building what you want to do in the future.
Sure.
And being able to talk to people about that will be very interesting. Do they get to ask questions? They get to go around the booths at their own leisure, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, there's a plan as far as how much time they're spending in each of the buildings, because we have 1,400 kids that we're shuffling through. But yeah, we give them, they actually have a set of questions that they're supposed to answer. We also, what we do is to kind of, you're talking about high school freshmen, so we want to engage them.
Absolutely.
So we tempt them with a raffle at the end of the day. So there's all these great prizes that they can win. So if they're engaged with the businesses and asking good questions, they can collect raffle tickets and actually, something that
So
they look forward to.
I just envisioning the magic of a day like that in a kid's life. How do you work with teachers so that it's not just the big event, but it's kind of
Very
ongoing
good question.
stuff?
Thanks for asking. Yeah, so we have actually built lesson plans that go along with this actual event. So the teachers then do a pre-lesson with their students to get them to start looking into careers, through different websites that they can actually explore what are some of the STEM careers out there. And then as well, they look to see who's going to be at the event, and so then the kids can start to think, oh, I want to make sure I visit them, and them. And so it's a
fantastic.
well use of their time. So, and then we also have a post-lesson plan, kind of a debrief lesson, so the teachers can do that with their students.
And this is the whole thing. You run this whole thing. Like, who helps you?
This is not just a single person.
I mean, this is
this is a big
huge.
event, right?
Yeah.
So we've got a committee of folks. So we partner definitely with all the great things that are going on in our community already. So SWE, the Society of Women Engineers, are part of the committee that helped put this on. AAUW, they're a part of it. So we find folks that have this passion, and they definitely give into what we're doing. So we've got sponsors. We raise money for the event, and so we get some great folks out there that are really making this happen. Shasta College is a big piece of helping us make this happen. So
I love hearing that you're working in partnership with other people doing similar things. Rather than like jockeying for position, you're working as a team almost. Like my daughter's been to the Women in Engineering events, and as a 4th grader or 3rd grader, I think she went, and it's very empowering for them to see this. And so by the time they get to 9th grade, they're already thinking these things are possible. And to see the leadership work together is really a big a big thing. How has that come about? How have you managed to make that happen?
Well, and that is a big piece of what North State STEM is about. I mean, we're about trying to make sure that we're highlighting already the great things that are occurring in our communities already, right? So there's some of the schools are doing some robotics stuff. We've got some great STEM programs, like you said, the Society of Women Engineers, their program. I mean, we really want to make sure that we're encouraging each other in what we do and building that passion, building that excitement for STEM, so kids see that as a possibility. Because I think if you think about it, kids when they think of STEM, that maybe kind of sounds scary, right? Because it's that science, math, technology, engineering. But we want to show that it is not scary, it's attainable.
Right, absolutely.
And it's not about just those single disciplines, those subjects, but it's about innovation, creativity. It's about having that problem solving, critical thinking, right? I know a lot of people say, well, why not STEAM instead of STEM? STEAM brings in the arts, right?
Yes,
which I completely agree. I think arts is a big piece of STEM.
Yes, absolutely.
But STEM just has that already. It's 4 letters, so I'm happy with STEM.
And it's well known. Well, here's the other question I have for you too. When you started the program and you kind of got it going, when you're looking at the people that you're bringing in, can people volunteer to be part of it, or? Can they say, hey, I have a job, this is how I got there? How do people get involved with that?
Yeah, very good question. Yeah, we definitely have volunteer committees through North State STEM. So as the career day, when we put on that every year, we definitely look for volunteers to come and help at the event, and as well as be part of the planning committee. We also have another committee called Beyond the Classroom, and their big focus has been to bring STEM education to the community, not just in the classroom. So most recently, they raised money to purchase 32 Lego robotics kits.
Wow.
So we now have those through the Shasta County Office of Education, but we loan those out to camps, to different organizations, the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts. I mean, just different folks that are not necessarily in the classroom have an opportunity to bring STEM into their programs with these robotics kits. So that's just one idea and one example of things that we're trying to do. So if folks want to get involved, we definitely are looking for volunteers and input and partnership.
I have one last question. My last question is, have you seen, what are the outcomes that you've seen? Because since the program's been 2 years, some of those 9th graders would now be in 11th grade, looking to go to college, looking to decide their careers and things like that. What are some of the outcomes that you've noticed from that program, if you've been able to follow up?
Sure. I mean, it's still in its infancy as far as we collecting data and what have you. But I think a lot of it has to do with your data of kids getting excited and feeling that. Okay, I can do that, or I didn't know that exists. Or I didn't know that we have these great manufacturing companies in our local area, and all I need to do is learn this and this, and I can get paid that. It's getting them to see that there's so much potential in the North State, and STEM has so much potential. So I think that's the big thing that we can say we've gotten. We do get an opportunity at certain events. We bring back students that have been in our community that are in STEM careers, and they get to speak with students and share where they're at. So that also is a nice inspiration, to see that, okay, I can do it too.
How do you see that the STEM education has changed over, say, the past 10 years?
Sure. And a big piece is really it's that the science and math teachers really are talking a lot more and trying to integrate what they do and make sure that kids see how both of those subjects.
If you want robotics, you need both science and math to make the robot work.
And engineering is now a more common word, right? It's not kids just go, oh, an engineer, isn't that the guy that drives the train, right? There's more to engineering, and it's a big deal now when you think about how engineering really goes into our innovation and what we're looking for our future.
I mean, every phone we hold is a result of the engineer.
And I think it's becoming too, I'm not in STEM, but just to add to that, I mean, I think now that kids are holding phones, just going there with you, I think it does bring a little bit more of a connection to like, oh, I could be a software engineer, or I could be.
We're in the car yesterday, and Graham was on the phone in the back seat, and he said something like, wouldn't it be neat if we could smell or send it through the phone to get from one place to another? And I said, Graham, you know what? In your lifetime, I won't be surprised if that happens. He's 9, and we don't know.
That's great, and that's we want to make sure kids have those creative thoughts, and we don't squash those.
Right.
I'll even
Somebody like you could create that.
Exactly. So
Right?
my own son, 2 years ago, says to me, "Hey, Dad, I'm going to invent the transporter."
Okay.
And I said, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
so he goes,
absolutely.
"I'm going to do it," and I'm not going to squash that, right? I mean, you think about the transporter, right?
Yeah.
So what?
But really, why not?
That doesn't even.
Why not?
Is the
So
best, I'm
he's-
sorry, we're out of time.
Okay.
What is
We
the
could keep
best
going,
way?
huh?
I know. It's exciting.
This is great.
Sorry,
Thank you for
who would
having me.
think STEM
Yeah.
was exciting? How can
STEM
people,
is exciting.
It is exciting. How can people get a hold of you?
So northstatestem.net is
Okay.
the website, and that one is the best way you can get a hold of.
NorthStateSTEM.net,
Yes.
and that's like a gateway
That is
to
a gateway.
everything.
Yep.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
coming
thank
on,
you.
Chris.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for watching. What a fun show we've had today. Very lively.
Yes.
Who would have thunk, right? But we're glad you watched, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next time on the forum.